Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am finally back with another video, and for today's video we're going to be setting up, as you guys can tell from my monthly view here, my monthly budget for the month of November. Now I've already had this whole monthly set up honestly since I released these monthly kits on my shop. So I decided to just lift a couple of the other stickers. So I'm sorry that I won't be really showing you guys how I lay down my stickers in my monthly view. I know I like to do that in my cash envelope stuffing video, but I already kind of had it here and I didn't want to waste it. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave that there. As you guys know, I use an Erin Condren Deluxe monthly planner. This is the 7x9 size. Been using this for over a year now and I really have been loving it as a budget planner. As you guys know, it does come with 5 note pages per month, so that is what I utilize to do all of my budgeting spreads. So your monthly budget, variable income, sinking funds, weekly check-in, debt snowball, and debt payoff plan, that's what I utilize all of the 5 pages. So of course, as the month goes by, I will be setting up my different spreads. I do like to set up first in the very beginning of the month 3 spreads, and those are my monthly budget, my variable income spread, and my sinking funds. So of course, today's going to be my monthly budget video, then after will be my sinking funds, and then lastly will be my cash envelope for the month. And that's going to be just the beginning of the budgeting videos. As you guys may or may not know, I do like to make my budget spread on the pages after the monthly view, so I like to do it on the right side. Like I mentioned before, I think it has to do with the fact that if I were to do it on the left side, I would have the coil here, so it would just really bother me. Of course, if you were to write with your left hand, it would be perfect for you, but for me, I like to do it on the right side. And I've been doing it like that for a while, so I'm going to keep that up. As always, I'm going to be using stickers from my Etsy shop, Romina Rosa. I went ahead and picked the floral pattern. I am offering 2 up on my shop for the month of November, and this is the coordinating budget kit. As you guys know, I do sell these in 2 formats, but I am going to be using the one that splits my variable and fixed expenses. If you guys would like to see how the other pattern looks on camera, my sister is actually, I'm going to just go ahead and get started while I tell you guys. My sister IVANNA is actually starting a YouTube channel. I have been encouraging her to, I'm sorry if you guys can hear the dogs outside, by the way. I've been encouraging her to really get down to budgeting ever since the summer, to be honest. Of course, like a lot of people, she has been on and off of it. And like I always mention, people, especially like my patrons that I have meetings with on a monthly basis, I always tell them that the reason why I am so good, I think, at keeping up with my budget is because I have all of you guys to keep me accountable. Just gonna fix this, sorry. That was a little better. All of you guys to keep me accountable, and I think that is the reason why I'm so good at keeping up. But of course, for the everyday person, I know that it can be hard because I definitely see it with my sister. So I thought that it would be great for her to start a YouTube channel, as well as she has a bunch of things that's going to be going on with her life for the next couple of months. So I thought it would be perfect for her to start one up. So I believe she is getting her November budget video up today, the same day that I'll be getting it up. So I will be sure to both link her channel down below and her November monthly budget video. So go ahead and check her out, show her some love, tell her that I sent you. I know that she would really appreciate that. As always, I do encourage you that if you're going to be setting up, let's say, your budget spread with like pretty stickers like myself, I do recommend you guys to have a rough draft. Now, I do use one of these soft bound notebooks from Erin Condren. Obviously, you don't have to do that, but I like to have all of my rough drafts for the past months and just things like that in a separate little notebook. I just think that making the rough draft way before you even set up your spread really sets you up for greatness, just because I know that you could make mistakes, let's say, when you're setting up your budget. So for me, it's really nice to have it ahead of time. Also, so I have all of my thoughts in order and all of my categories, and I don't forget a thing when setting this up in front of you guys. So my income sources are my Etsy shop, Romina Rosa. So I'm going to put that as my first income source. As I've said in the past, I don't take every single penny that I make from my Etsy shop. I basically give myself a paycheck in the very beginning of the month to last me for the whole month, which will cover all of my expenses, savings, as well as I do like to get a little bit more for my extra debt payments, but those you will see when I make my spreads later on this month. So I don't necessarily keep all of the money that I make from here. I definitely do want to separate my accounts between my personal and my business, just because there could be a lot of room for mistakes, like me overspending money that I shouldn't be spending, because me and my business are both in a way separate entities. So that's really the reason why I like to specify that. As you guys know, I don't enclose my income, so I like to be as detailed as possible whenever making these videos. And then the next one that I have for income sources is going to be variable. As for variable, you guys know that those things include my YouTube channel. So I do earn some money from the videos that you guys are watching, the ads specifically. And although I do earn money on YouTube, I don't want you guys to think that I earn a lot of money on YouTube. Honestly, if I was just doing YouTube alone, I would not be able to survive. There's just no way. And yeah, so most of my income comes from my Etsy shop, and I've said this time and time again, just because I feel like people think that I earn so much money on YouTube, and that's really not the case at all. Okay, so those are my two income sources. I like to split my income section for my expenses with a bit of washi there for my washi kit. So let's start with my variable expenses. Okay, so variable expenses, I have first up, all of my cash envelopes. As you guys know, I've been doing the cash envelope system for a couple of months. I believe I started, I want to say, in March. I think it was after my birthday, yeah. And I've really been loving the cash envelope system. I am a true believer in having cash over making purchases with your debit card, just because when having cash, you are really aware of the money and when it's going away, when you're using it. So it's a good visual to have, and it definitely has saved my butt. So let me write down all my cash envelopes. First, we have groceries. I am actually bumping up the amount for groceries for this month. As you guys know, I do live at home with my parents, and the groceries that I get are mostly just for myself, but I usually budget $150 for it. But for this month, I am going to budget $200, just because, of course, this month is Thanksgiving. So when looking at my categories, like my cash envelopes, I like to think of the whole month and what is going on with the month. So I know that this month is going to be Thanksgiving, so I'm either going to be helping a little bit more with like Thanksgiving dinner, or I do plan on going to like a Friendsgiving sort of event, so I do plan on cooking for that. So you definitely have to look at your month and see what events you have happening before starting up your budget. I do recommend that. Next, we have eating out. I think for eating out, I am increasing it a little bit more too, just because there are 5 Fridays in the month. Usually I give myself $100, but I'm just going to bump that up to $120. Nothing too crazy, just because, once again, I do foresee myself going out to eat. I feel like just because whenever the holiday seasons come, I am prone to be more out than usual, but honestly, who knows this month. Next, we have gas. For gas, for my car, I am budgeting $80. I do work from home, so I know a lot of you guys were really shocked as to my budget for last month, but to be honest, I don't really get out of my house that much. I'm mostly just working on different things, and I just pumped gas at the very end of last month, so I think I should be good with $80. Usually my car fills up with $40, although the gas has been really crazy here in California, but I think I should be pretty okay. Next cash envelope is allowance. And for allowance, I am budgeting $100. I'm just leaving it the same as last month. And then last but not least, I have a beauty cash envelope, because I have red hair, so I do like to dye my hair pretty frequently. Honestly, red hair fades pretty quick. So for this, I am going to budget $100, which is like, I think, $5 more than last month. I am planning on making this beauty cash envelope not only be beauty, but also toiletries, just because I don't really have a section for toiletries, as you guys can see here, unless I bought it with like my allowance money. Next, I have my electricity bill. So like I mentioned, I do live at home, and my parents don't really ask me to help out with much. Sometimes I do give them money for groceries, but I also do like to contribute to my household by paying the electricity bill. So that is my sort of part of the house. For electricity, I am going to budget $120, just because I believe last month I just got the bill from my dad. It was less than I was expecting, so I think I can bump it down to $120 now. Next, we have phone bill. for phone bill, it is going to go a bit higher than it was last month, I believe just by like a couple of dollars. I am budgeting $130. And the reason why I went up is because I don't know if you guys remembered, my brother got a new phone, and me and my sister have decided that we're just going to be paying for it monthly together. So my part is honestly not that much, so it just goes up to $130. And then my dad will take care of like his line and stuff, so we just have to pay for his phone monthly. So not too bad. And then last but not least, I don't have any like other categories this month. So then last but not least, for variable expenses, I'm going to write unbudgeted. And this is going to be for any unbudgeted expenses that may come during the month. I don't budget anything for this. For me, the unbudgeted would be something like a buffer in your account. I have a buffer in my account, of course, because I do have money that I'll be putting towards my savings or towards my debt. So that is what my buffer is. You guys obviously don't know the exact amount of it because I don't disclose my income. And then I think I am just going to skip a line, just in case I'm not forgetting something. Hopefully not, but that's that. And then next we have our fixed expenses on this side. I like to just line it up here. Okay, and then for fixed expenses for me are set amounts that are not going to change. So things like your rent payment, your car payment, your minimum payments for your credit cards, those are things that don't change. They're fixed amounts. Whereas for my cash envelopes, these amounts can vary in the sense that I could spend less money that I'm budgeting for and just stuff like that. So that is why I really like to separate my expenses, as well as it gives me a lot more room in my 7x9 planner. So the first one for this is going to be PayPal. For PayPal, my minimum went down actually to $75. And then my last credit card, which I am planning on paying off this month. Hopefully this minimum is $29. Next we have Spotify, which, thinking about it, I just helped my sister with her budget. She has the Spotify family plan, and I still am budgeting for the student plan. Honestly, I think this might be the last month, just because I know that my student plan ends in December. So I think once that is done, I will go ahead and go into her plan. Next, I have iTunes. This is just for iCloud storage. Honestly, guys, I had to upgrade because I have like way too many files apparently on iCloud, and now my payment is not 99 cents, it is now $2.99, which is not a ton, but I definitely want to have that iCloud. It really helps with all the files that I have. Next, I have Tithe. For Tithe, I budget $100. And then we have my sinking funds, which I will have the video up after this one. So stay tuned for that one. And for this, I am budgeting $982. There you go. Next, I have my student loan payment. And my minimum payment for that is $130.77. These never change really. And then last but not least, I do have to pay for my tuition this month. So that is going to be $298. If you guys are wondering what tuition I'm talking about, I am enrolled in a program for court interpreting. So I am taking a couple of classes to help me hopefully pass the California court interpreting state exam, and that is what I'm working on right now. Oh, sorry, I forgot one more thing. The last thing that I have for fixed expenses, which I don't have an exact amount as of yet, but I like to put in my budget because I do like to make extra debt payments to my debts. So I'm going to put extra debt payment. Like I mentioned, I'm not going to write anything on here as of yet. Am I gonna skip a line? No, I think I'm not. I'm not gonna write anything on there yet, just because I do. If you guys would have seen my debt snowball video, for October. You guys know that I have a goal. I think the goal is like $700. So that is sort of my goal for the month, but of course I'm not going to put it on here up until I know that I'm able to achieve that goal. And I've been pretty good with sticking to the amount of money that I set my goal to be every month, so that makes me really happy, to be honest. And I know a lot of you guys have been following my journey for quite some time, so that also makes me really happy. Oh, I think I have a lot of space. Am I missing something? I almost feel like I'm missing something. No, I don't think so. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so I might just have extra room to work with at the bottom. That's okay. Okay, so we have split section here. And then we will do our total section. Yeah, I definitely have more room. Oh, it's because... yeah, it's because last month I had a lot of expense categories, I think. So here in the total section, I will put income, variable for variable expenses, and fixed for fixed expenses. And then I will put one of these here. And then we will put, last but not least, our little squared off pattern box. Put it right here. And I utilize this for, let's say, after I subtract all of my expenses from my income, I will go ahead and take that leftover money and allocate it towards either my debt snowball for the next month or towards savings. So this is the little box that I like to use. Okay, so then last but not least, I'm going to just take some Deco that I have up on my shop and just put that up here. I'm almost thinking that I might just include this Deco to next year's budget kits, just because I really like these and I do plan on using them pretty much in every budget spread, so I don't see why not. I think that'd be cute. Let me know if you would like me to add these little deco pieces in my budget kits. There you go. So last but not least, things that I have to do would be make my lines to separate everything, as well as just add everything up. But I think I'm just gonna add everything up and then I'll make the lines off camera. So let's see, for variable expenses, we have 200, 120, 80, 100, 100, 120, and 130. So that is a total of $850 that I'm budgeting for this month. And then for fixed expenses, we have 75, 29, 499, 299, 100, 282, 982, sorry, 130, 77, and 298. I'm not going to write it down because, like I mentioned, I am missing my extra debt payment here. But so far, all of my expenses would equal, as of now, to $850 plus $850 to this amount, so $2,472.75. Of course, I will later add up this section when I have my extra debt payment. That is usually at the end of the month, if not after, when I get up my results videos. But with that being said, I think that is all that I have for this month's monthly budget video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, as well as subscribe to my channel if you guys are not subscribed already. Once again, go ahead and check out my sister. Her YouTube channel is IVANNA Plans Live. Like I mentioned, I will go ahead and leave a link for her channel as well as her November monthly budget video up for you guys, and hopefully I will get to see you guys on my next video. Bye guys.